So today we are starting with basic calculus, and in basic calculus we are starting with functions. Okay, before we start, let's try to understand what is a function. I have already given you a glimpse of it while teaching trigonometry, right? So what is शुभ इसको 4 में ए बाबू इधर ही लाओ अबे बे, बे, मेरे को पानी चाहिए. So what are functions? देखो. So in maths, all of us are aware, not even in maths, wherever we have, if we try to understand what is a function based on our understanding of English language, right? We need, whenever we act, right? Whatever action we perform or we do, we always have an output in mind, right? So there is a desired output whenever we are performing a function, right? Whenever we are doing something. So this output is a desired output, right? Then for this desired output, obviously you need a required, this is an input, IP is input, right? You need an input which is always required. Without input, there is no output, right? All of you, सौ में समझ आया बेटा नहीं आया?
Yes, sir. I.
So there is a required input. Input is required. Output is desired. And then there is an operator in between which operates in your output to give us the desired output, right? So this is a operator. Now all these three taken together, is a function. This is a function. Okay. Anybody is having any challenge in this? For
No.
example,
No, sir.
for example, if you want to eat, say, ice cream, if you want to make ice cream and eat it, right? So what will you do? Your desire is ice cream, right? Now, to make this ice cream, anybody who has made ice cream till date, any one of you, have you ever tried making an ice cream? अच्छा वाह. तो वैष्णवी चलो बताओ, what are the required input? क्या क्या चाहिए होता है बेटा?
सर दूध चाहिए, फिर
Okay, milk.
ये जिस फ्लेवर का बनाना है, जैसे
Okay,
मैंगो
flavor.
बनाना है लगेगा,
और
फिर और शक्कर लगेगा,
sugar. और
हाँ, that's about it.
ice cream powder.
हाँ सर, फ्रीज, हाँ आइसक्रीम पाउडर.
ऐसा लगता है क्या? मुझे नहीं पता, मैं तो पूछा बस.
सर नेसेसरी नहीं है, पर
Necessary नहीं है. Very good. Thirukumaran, anything else which is required? You also have made an ice cream, right?
Yes, sir. For ice cream, you need creams. You need cream in the ingredients. So then only you can make ice cream.
Okay, so cream also. So we have milk, flavor, sugar, ice cream powder, cream. ये सब चाहिए, ठीक है? Yes or no? All of you? Harini?
yes sir.
Yes,
These
sir.
are the required input. This is the desired output. Now, if you take all these ingredients, mix it well nicely, and put it in a vessel, right? And put that vessel on a gas burner and you switched on that gas burner stove, right? Will you get an ice cream after some time? Obviously no, right? You have to put all these ingredients. Where do you have to put it? In the freezer, right? And this freezer will operate on this ingredients to give us ice cream. Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is a
Yes.
function now. This is a complete function. So your operator should be the correct operator, right? If you need some desired output, you have the required input also. But you are now operating from a different operator. You will not get the desired output, right? For example, I'll give you one more example. All of you want to do very good in IIT, JEE mains or NEET, whatever exam you want to do. You want to learn physics for it, right? You have bought all the good things, all the things which are required, all the textbooks, all the study material, everything is there with you. Now you take that study material and go to a Kathakali dance center. Will you ever learn physics?
No.
No, sir.
You don't have a correct operator, right? To operate. You will learn very good Kathakali dance, but not physics, right? So this is the same thing. So all of you understood this idea of function?
Yes.
Yes
Yes.
or no? Harini,
Yes, sir.
Ahana,
Yes, sir.
Kaushal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. सौम्य को समझ आया ना?
Yes.
शाबाश. तो in maths we have this function here also. So this is y is equal to, let's say there is a function called as x cube plus 2t plus 3. So these values, these are x and t. We give the values of x and t here and we get the values of y. So these are called as independent variables. Amongst y, x and t, x and t are independent variables, right? And y is a dependent variable. Why y is dependent variable? Because its value depends on the value of x and t you give, right? So how do we mention it here? We mention it like this: y is a function of x comma t. You can write f, you can write g. Any symbol will represent this, right? You mention the independent variables inside the bracket. So here you can see that there are two independent variables. If there are three independent variables, then what will you do? Suppose I have 7z plus 8. So there are three independent variables now: x, t, and z. So y is a function of x, t, and z. I hope all of you understood this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How to write function? Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Advik,
Yes, sir.
Ahana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. सौम्य ठक्कर को समझ आया बेटा? नहीं आया तुमको?
Yes, sir.
And what about Thirukumaran and Harini?
Yes, sir. Understood.
I understand, sir.
Shabash. Very good. So this is about functions and how do we represent it, right? Now comes all of you write it. Write this. Don't write this ice cream example. Just write the blue one and the yellow, whatever is there inside the yellow box. Don't write this ice cream example. It's not necessary. If you want to write, you can write. Likho. And once you are done writing it, type done in the comment. No, don't write done. I'll put the poll here. Answer the poll once you are noted it, okay? So almost all of you are done, right? ये भी लिखो. चलो. So now we will. हाँ, क्या था अभी? ठीक है, ठीक. Suppose this is x and this is y. When x is 1, y is, let's write this function. Y is equal to x square. Okay, all of you pay attention. When x is 1, y is 4. When x is 2, y is, sorry, क्या कर रहा हूँ? When x is 1, y is 1, x is 2, y is 4, x is 3, y is 9, x is 4, y is 16, 5, 25, 6, 36, and 7 is 49, right? If you plot this graph, what you get here is, just pay attention, huh? For the same values of x, when x is -1, then also the values remain same. -2, -3, -5, -6, -7. For all these values of x, then also y is same. Yes or no? Because negative का square क्या होता है?
Positive.
Positive होता है. So, ठीक है. Now, if you plot it here, we are just trying to plot this graph, okay? This is how it will look like. And anybody who knows this shape, this curve's name, what is it? Any one of you? Are you aware of this curve's name? Tirukumaran, you know what is this curve called?
Parabola.
कौन बोला?
Sir, Kaushal.
कौशल बोला. हाँ, वही मैं सोचूं. ये बच्चे लोग कैसे बोल दिए? So this is called as parabola. This curve has a special name and we call this as parabola. Right? You can see that even for negative values of x, we have only positive values of y. This is called as vertex of the parabola. This is called as vertex of the parabola, which is passing through 0, because if x is 0, y is also 0. Right? When x is 0, y is 0. Now, अच्छा सब इधर ध्यान देंगे पहले. Don't write. All of you pay attention here. Now, let's look at these two values. ठीक है? Let's name them as x1, x2, and the corresponding values of y are y1 and y2. Okay. We have this curve as y is equal to x square, and we will write it as y as a function of x, right? When x is equal to x1, y is written as f of x1. Why? Because we substitute the values of x as x1, right? And this is, you substitute x as how much? x1, right? So y will be x1, y1 will be x1 square. y1 will be x1 square. Now you substitute the value here. What is x1? x1 is 1 and 2. Sorry, x1 is 1, right? So y1, when x1 is 1, is equal to 1 square, which is 1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, when x is equal to x2, y2, we write the corresponding value of y as y2, and this is f of x2, which is x2 square. So if I write the value of x2 as say 2, this is 4. Similarly, y3 is, let's write this value as y3.
So
3.
how is it 4 square?
Sorry, 4. My bad. This is 4. ठीक है? और चलेगा, ठीक है. When y3 is, x is 3, so f3 हो गया. This is 9. So now you know how to write y1, y2, y3 for a given value of x, how to write corresponding value of y. Whatever input you give, whatever value of x you write, y will become the square of that value according to this function, right? For example, if you write x as gadha, चलो गधा लिखते हैं इसको. What will y become? Y is x square. So y will become गधे का square. Understood or not? मैथ्स में नहीं होता ऐसा. समझ आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
जो इनपुट दोगे उसी का आउटपुट निकलेगा ना फंक्शन को. अब तुमको आइसक्रीम खाना था, तुमने क्या किया? चाय पत्ती शक्कर लिया, उसको घोला दूध में, राइट? यू टुक टी, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? टी लीव्स ही बोलते हैं ना. हाँ, tea leaves, sugar, milk, everything you took, you mix it nicely and you put it in the freezer. Will you get an ice cream? Will you get an ice cream? No.
No.
Whatever input you will give, it will get squared and it is coming out. Understood or not? Hello.
Yes.
Harini.
Yes, sir.
So this is what is how you write corresponding values of x1 for a given value of x1, corresponding values of y. ठीक है? So थोड़ा सा ये curve जो है ना, this curve in this case it will be like this. This is how it will look like. ठीक है? So if I draw it here.
Sir, what does the f in the function stand for, sir?
Sorry.
What does the f in the function you wrote stand for, sir?
Just a representation, right? F, I wrote it with different alphabets. See, G, Phi, Xi. These are just a symbol to represent that this value is a function of all these values.
Okay, sir.
So now if x is, हाँ बोलो.
So I have a doubt that what is that parabola representing?
The curve of this function.
Okay, sir.
How will it look like? on a paper if I plot. So just अभी देखो दिखाता हूं मैं तुम्हें. For example, for x0, y0, this is one dot, right? For x is equal to 1, y is 1, right? For x is equal to 1, y is 1. For x is equal to 2, y is 4. See? For x is equal to 2, y is, एक मिनट ये खराब दिखेगा. Oh. For x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. For x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. For x is equal to 3, थोड़ा और आगे जाना पड़ेगा, देखो, है ना? For y is equal to 3, sorry, for x is equal to 3, y is 9. I hope all of you understood this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
This is x1, this is x2, this is x3. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 4, 9. This is y3, y2, and y1. Right? अब एक बात बताओ. All of you please pay attention. Abhi, don't write anything. I'll give you enough time to write. Don't worry. Do you know what is meaning of this delta? This symbol is called as delta, a small triangle. This denotes a change. This is the change. Now, all of you, what is x? Is it an independent variable or dependent variable? X.
Independent.
Independent.
Very good. So can I say that this is the change in the independent variable?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I can say that.
Yes, sir.
And what about delta y? It is
Change in dependent variable.
Variable.
change in the dependent variable. ठीक है? Now, for first two values of x, 2 and 1, don't take negative values abhi. 2 and 1. What is delta x? 2 minus 1, which is x2 minus x1. Yes or no? First two values. Yes or no? हाँ ना
Yes,
बोलना है.
Yes.
What about for corresponding
Sir,
change?
वो कैसे है?
सर माइनस करने से चेंज का मतलब क्या होता है? तुम्हारी आज हाइट है, तो तुम्हारी हाइट कितनी है बताओ?
150 सेंटीमीटर.
अब 150. चलो अभी तुम्हारा वजन बताओ. वजन तुम्हारा वजन होगा अभी 35 kg. कल तुम्हारा वजन हो जाता है, खूब खाते पीते हो, और परसों तुम्हारा वजन हो जाता है 40 किलो. तो तुम्हारा व्हाट इज चेंज इन योर वेट?
5 kg.
हाउ विल यू कैलकुलेट? फाइनल वैल्यू माइनस इनिशियल वैल्यू.
Yes.
So similarly, every change is measured like this, whether it is in variables, whether it is in numbers, whether it is in height, weight, color, whatever. Final value minus initial value. I hope all of you understood this.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Very good. So this is change, right? So x2 minus x1 is the change for these two values, right? For first two values of x. देखो समझ आ रहा है ना तुम लोग को कि नहीं आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
What is the corresponding value, what is the change in the corresponding values of y for this x2 and x1? This will be y2 minus y1. And what is that?
Okay.
4 minus
4
1,
minus 1. 3.
right? So if I write, all of you please pay attention. It's very important. If I write delta y upon delta x, What do you understand by this?
Change in y with respect to change in x.
Very good. This is the ratio of change in y to change in x. Or can I say it like this? Let's write. This is 3 upon 1, right? Can I say that this is change in the value of change in the dependent variable with respect to the change in the independent variable? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
बोल सकते हैं ना इसको ऐसे?
Yes,
All of you say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Thirukumaran. Thirukumaran,
Yes, sir.
you understood or not?
I understood all of this.
Okay, good, good, good. Harini?
Yes, sir.
So all of you please write till this point. ठीक है? We are trying to understand how to represent. क्या समझ रहे हैं हम लोग? We are trying to represent what is the change in the value of dependent variable for a corresponding change in the value of independent variable. आराम से समझ के लिखो, कोई जल्दी नहीं है मुझे. ठीक है? Just answer this poll if you are done with this, okay? अच्छा, लिख भी लिया इतने लोगों ने. वाह.
उसमें वो ऐसा दिख रहा था पहले।
Please answer your polls.
हो गया था पूरा बारिश।
Answer the poll.
तो उसको मैंने काया पलट करके ऐसा कर दिया, तो मेरी कहाँ गलती हो गई यार?
Bacho, please give me 5 minutes, sir. 5 minutes only. I'll be back in 5 minutes. An important call I have.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, बच्चों. Sorry, it was an important call which I need to take. एक second, हाँ? चलो. So now, all of you please pay attention, huh? If I plot this delta, कहाँ चला गया वो हमारा? This one, delta y by delta x. What is delta y here for these two cases? Can I say delta y is this value? This change, yes or no? This is delta y, the black line. Can you see this? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
And delta x for this particular value is this value, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I'll just shift this line on this scale, on this side of it. Can you guys see this?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
now if I ask you to join these 2 points, let's name these points, है ना? ये name कर लेते हैं इनको. Let's say this is P1, this is P2. So this becomes a triangle, yes or no? All of you, this becomes a triangle or not?
Yes, sir.
Let's call this angle as theta 1. ठीक है? ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Can I say this delta y by delta x is tan theta 1? Tan theta 1 is delta y by delta x. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Remember or not?
Tan theta.
In a right angle triangle, if this is theta, this is perpendicular, this is base. याद है नहीं है बेटा? P or B?
Yes, sir.
So tan theta is what? Tan theta is P upon B. यहाँ पे perpendicular is what? In this triangle, P1, P2, and let's say this is point O. So in this triangle, P1, P2, O, what is perpendicular? Perpendicular is delta y. What is base? Delta x. Yes or no? All of you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
है ना? सबको समझ में आया नहीं आया? All of you understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
बहुत important है.
Yes,
This is very, very, very important, right? We are building up something very big. तो ये तुमको मजा तब आएगा जब ये बन के दिखाई देगा तुम्हें. अभी बस इसको समझते जाओ. So, can I say that now this term tan theta 1 is called as, the ratio delta y by delta x is called as slope of the C. इसको let's extend this line. So it's a line, right? It's not a line segment now, it's a line. So the slope of the secant is tan theta 1, which is delta y by delta x. Now what is secant, what is tangent? I'll explain this to you first. Suppose I have this curve here and I draw a line. This is a line, right? Not line segment. This is a line. It cuts across this curve at 2 different points. So this is called as secant. So a line which crosses the curve at minimum 2 different points is called as a secant. And what is a tangent? Suppose the line touches this curve only at 1 point. This is called as tangent. I hope all of you understood what is secant, what is tangent, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
here, this red colored line is a secant to this curve. Yes or no? All of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is a secant, right? Now, if I take, let's take this point also, P3. Okay. Now, for these two values, what is P3? P3 is 9, right? Let's find now delta y for y3 minus y2. Immediate values, right? This is what? 9 minus 4, it is 5. And what about delta x, corresponding x? X3 minus x2. This is 3 minus 2, 1. So now what is delta y by delta x for this term? It is 5 upon 1, right? So the slope is 5 and this is tan theta 2, right? Now the slope of the secant has changed for this particular, these two coordinates. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All of you.
Yes, sir.
Can I write it like this? Can I draw it like this? See,
Yes, sir.
this looks beautiful. देखो, ठीक दिख रहा है ना ये? हाँ.
Yes.
So what you have learned till now is, you have now learned what is the change in the value of dependent variable with respect to or for a corresponding change in the value of independent variable. इसको हिंदी में भी बोलता हूं, डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल में क्या चेंज आ रहा है फॉर अ करस्पॉन्डिंग चेंज इन द वैल्यू ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. आई रिपीट, what you have learned till this point is how to look the change in the value of dependent variable with respect to the corresponding change in the value of independent variable. And for a curve, we call that as slope of the secant. Yes or no?
Yes.
Every time the slope of the secant is changing for two different points. Yes or no? It should change. It will change. All of you. Harini, Tirukumaran, Kaushal. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Soumya
Yes.
Thakkar,
Yes.
Vaishnavi, Ahana, Advik,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shabash. Shabash.
Can you please explain again? I can't understand.
Which one, which part you want me to explain?
Sir, tan theta 2, how it forms?
Tan theta, जैसे बेटा ये था ना तुम्हारा tan theta 1 delta y by delta x था, तो
Yes,
tan
sir.
theta two क्या हो जाएगा? delta y by delta x ही होगा, पर दूसरे वैल्यूज के लिए होगा y3 minus y2. देखो यहाँ पर what you do is ना, you complete this triangle. ये देखो P2 P3 और इसको ले लो O1. इस ट्राइंगल में this is theta 2, right? So what is tan theta 2? Delta y upon delta x.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, ये मिला हम.
So why did we draw the lines on the triangle, sir?
Sorry.
I mean, why did we draw the lines on the triangle, sir? Like for secant and tangent.
नहीं, there is something big we are trying to build on. It's a basic building block for understanding what is secant, what is tangent, what is slope, right? You know, you're not aware of all these things. Are you aware of this?
Yes, sir, I am.
You're aware of secant, tangent?
Yes, sir, I am.
You know
I'm
what
aware.
is slope? You know what is slope?
Yeah,
In
I know.
terms of tan theta and all?
Sorry, can you come again? sir?
You know what is tan theta? Is it slope of the secant or tangent? You're aware of this?
Yes, sir, I am.
Where have you read this?
I searched it up. Secant.
Sorry? Normally, at 8th grader will not go for these type of things. I'm not aware whether they teach this in 8th standard or not.
It isn't, sir. It isn't in there.
So if you are aware, it's very good. But now everybody has to learn. Okay. You understood or not? Secant, tangent, whatever we have done till this point in time. You understood or not?
I did, sir. So
Excellent.
I missed the part where you drew the lines, sir. That's why I was asking why you drew
Why?
the line
Where were
over
you?
the.
While I was drawing the lines?
I went to take a sip of water, sir.
Acha. This line is called as secant. We are joining P2 and P3, right? This is the triangle. This angle is theta 2. Tan theta 2 is perpendicular upon base. This is the slope of the secant. Tan theta 2 is called as slope. Tan theta is called as slope. Right? So what we have learned till this point is, I sum it up. I hope all of you have written it. Yes or no?
Yes,
लिख
sir.
दिया बेटा ये सब लोग आप लोगों ने?
No, sir. Writing.
अच्छा लिखो इसको, लिख लो पहले, कंप्लीट करो इसको. Then I'll move to next slide. Once you are done, just type done in the comment window. Okay. Done, all of you or not? You have not written done in the comment section. If you have done, please type done in the chat window. Only one of you have written. Okay. Okay. Chalo, great. So I think most of you are done with this. So now let's try to comprehend what we have learned, right? कितनी बड़ी चीज पढ़ ली तुम लोगों ने, पता है तुमको? देखो ध्यान से. Whenever we have a function y as some function of independent variable x, right? And we write this delta y by delta x. When we find this delta y by delta x, okay? This is the slope. This is for some angle theta, right? This is called as the slope of the secant drawn to the curve at two different points. कोई भी slope हो, कोई भी secant हो सकता है. There can be infinite number of secants which can be drawn, right? So this is how we give the slope of those secants. I hope all of you understood this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, great. Anybody who wants to ask anything? Ahana, you want to ask something, beta?
No, sir.
No? Advik?
No, sir.
Kaushal? Kaushal?
सर मुझे वेक्टर्स का होमवर्क का डाउट से थोड़े.
नहीं अभी नहीं. अरे नहीं इसमें पूछ रहा. अरे वेक्टर का डाउट आएगा बेटा, रुक जाए, क्लास है पूरी उसकी. अभी ये समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं?
हाँ सर, वो आया सब समझ.
हाँ. 100 में ठक्कर को समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. हरिणी, you understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thirukumaran?
Yes, I understood.
Okay.
I understood everything.
Now, I'll draw that graph again. I'll draw a new graph this time so that you had a fair, good understanding of what is happening here. So, chalo, banate hain hum. So this is the graph. ठीक है? I have the graph which I am drawing here is, let's say this is the graph. ऐसा नहीं बनाते. Let's make it like, हाँ ऐसा चलेगा ये, ठीक है. Now I choose 2 points. So this is some function of, this is y, which is some function of variable x. Because this is y, this is x. Okay. I choose 2 points here. I take 2 points. One is this point and the other one is this one. Okay, let's name these points as P1, P1, or let's write it as P and Q. The coordinates, the respective coordinates are x1, y1, x2, y2. ठीक है. Now I draw this line. इसको भी नहीं करते, इसको भी हटा. Let's take this color. I draw this line, which is the secant of this curve. Secant to this curve, right? And this is the slope of the secant is the slope of the secant in this case is given as, this angle is theta. Any two values, right? So the slope of the secant is given as, let's call it as, let's name this angle as theta1. So tan theta1 in this triangle, let's write this as r. This is delta y. This is delta x. This is y1. This is y2. This is x1. This is x2. And this is x-axis. This seems familiar to all of you or not now? All of you?
Yeah.
It seems familiar to you or not?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So now I'm writing something. Please try to follow it. Okay. Please follow it. Read it with me. When Q starts moving towards P along the curve, right? The change in the value of independent variable starts decreasing. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All of you,
Yes,
follow
sir.
it. If you don't understand this statement, ask me. I'll explain it again.
Sir, I do not understand the statement.
Read
I
it
didn't-
twice. Read it twice. It's written in English. You can very well understand it. What is very independent variable? You understand or not? What is independent variable? Thirukumaran, you said na you didn't understand it.
Independent variable. How do
Which one of these two is an independent variable? Y or X?
X.
X. Now read the statement. Try to comprehend it, all of you. पढ़ो, अंग्रेजी में लिखा है. पढ़ो, समझने की कोशिश करो. बहुत सिंपल इंग्लिश में लिखा है. कुछ भी नहीं है इसमें जो तुमको समझ नहीं आएगा. Thirukumaran, you understood or not now?
I understood, sir.
Harini, you understood or not?
Yes, sir, I understood.
देखो क्या लिखा है वो बता. Now I'll explain.
Sir, I can't understand what is meaning of this.
You are
Sir, Advik.
क्या हुआ अद्विक? बोलो बोलो, क्या हुआ इसमें? क्या नहीं समझ में आया तुमको? पढ़ो।
Yes, sir. When Q starts moving towards P along the curve, the
क्या
change
मतलब
in
हो
the
सकता है? एक सेकंड, एक सेकंड। कर्व क्या है बेटा? कौन सा कर्व दिख रहा है यहाँ पर तुमको? विच इज द
sir,
कर्व?
ये जो means वो मोटा
कर्व
ब्लू
लाइन
लाइन।
बनी हुई है, वही कर्व हुआ ना? कर्व जो बना
Yes,
हुआ
sir.
है ब्लू कलर का,
Yes.
डार्क ब्लू कलर, जो थिक ब्लू कलर की लाइन है, वही कर्व हुआ ना? y इज इक्वल टू एफ एक्स।
Yes, sir.
ये समझ में आता है कर्व क्या है यहाँ पर?
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड। अब बताओ, हिंदी इसको, अंग्रेजी को हिंदी में कन्वर्ट करो। व्हेन क्यू स्टार्ट्स, अपनी मातृभाषा में करो। ऑल ऑफ यू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू योर मदर टंग, मदर, वॉट एवर लैंग्वेज यू स्पीक एट होम। ट्राई टू कॉम्प्रीहेंड इट, दैट इज द की टू कॉम्प्रीहेंशन। When Q starts moving towards P, क्या मतलब हुआ इसका? अद्विक मिश्रा जी बताइए। Along the curve क्या मतलब हुआ?
सर Q जब P की तरफ आता है मींस
कर्व
कर्व।
में चल के आएगा, कहीं और से
यस
चल के नहीं आएगा, उड़ता हुआ नहीं आएगा कहीं से, कर्व के साथ साथ चल के आएगा। समझ आया?
यस सर।
शाबाश। तो ये कहेंगे लिखा, मैंने कहेंगे लिख दिया है, कहेंगे नहीं है, ये चेंज है ये। ठीक है। The change in the value of independent variable starts decreasing. What is the change in the value of independent variable? Delta y or delta x?
सर डेल्टा एक्स।
So delta x will decrease or not when Q move towards P?
यस सर यस।
Obviously. Yes or no? For
Yes.
everyone. Yes or no?
यस।
Yes. So, तो ठीक है ना? Now you understood or not?
यस सर।
Shabash. So, when Q starts moving towards P along the curve, the change in the value of independent variable starts decreasing. And hence, and so, the change in the value of dependent variable also decreases. Say yes or no.
यस सर। यस।
Yes. Suppose I put this Q here. I bring this Q here. Right? And now I draw the tangent. All of you just pay attention to this dark green color line. See? And just showing you how delta y and delta x are decreasing. Hiru Kumaran, you understood or not?
Understood, sir.
Very good. All of you understood or not? All of you. Every one of you should
Yes
understand.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now comes the next part of it. And so the change in the value of dependent variable also decreases. यहाँ पे full stop लगा दो. ठीक है? If the change in the value of, now I am writing x in place of independent variable of x, becomes very, very small. Very, very small का मतलब, we are unable to draw it also, but we will try to draw, we'll try drawing it here, right? The secant to the curve almost becomes a tangent to it. ठीक है? Now what does this mean? वैसे तो तुम लोग खुद करके देखोगे तो तुमको समझ आ जाएगा, बट अगेन I'll do it for you, don't worry. मैं इसको थोड़ा सा ना ऐसा बना देता हूं तो तुमको दिखेगा ये। नहीं यार, नहीं कर सकती, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं। Now what is happening here is this Q is very close to P. This Q comes very close to P. Can you see this? ये कर्व पे ही आ गया. It is very close to P, right? Now this is P and this is Q. All of you. Hello.
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, if you try drawing the tangent here, if you try drawing the tangent secant here, can you see that it is almost becoming a tangent to this curve?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It seems
Yes.
to become a tangent to this curve, right? It seems. Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, now the slope of this tangent. Suno. The slope of this tangent, let's call this angle as theta, the angle which it makes. Right? The slope of this tangent is now given as tan theta is given as tan theta, which is equal to, please pay attention, मैं क्या लिख रहा हूं समझना, limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x. क्या मतलब हुआ इसका? इसका इंग्लिश में क्या, मैं लिख रहा हूं इसको पूरा, limit delta x, that is change in the value of independent variable, limit delta x tends to 0. So this is how the slope is given. In short, it is written as limit lim delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x. In short, it is written as dy by dx. ऐसे लिखते हैं इसको, ठीक है? यहां से यहां गया, यहां से यहां गया. I hope all of you understood this. Now, what do I mean by delta x tends to 0? What does this mean? It means that value of delta x is approaching to 0, is approaching towards 0. I hope all of you understood this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody is having any
Yes.
iota of doubt also? Ask me.
Sir,
हाँ, बोलो.
slope of either slope of this tangent is now given as tan theta equals to dy upon dx. तो इधर tangent कैसे है?
इधर
Tangent कैसे आया? क्योंकि ऊपर तो लिखा है the secant to the curve almost becomes a tangent to it.
हाँ, तो ऑलमोस्ट हो गया ना बेटा. तो वही ऑलमोस्ट वाला जो टेंजेंट है उसी की बात कर रहे हैं हम.
Okay.
देखो देखो सुनो, ये जो तुम इस वैल्यू को देखो, ये दो पॉइंट जो है ना P और Q बहुत क्लोज है.
हाँ.
If I draw these 2 points, if I take these 2 points outside and draw it, ये जो वैल्यू है ये बहुत छोटी हो सकती है ना, और छोटी होती चली जाएगी, which is not visible, which will be very difficult for me to plot also. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो जब दिखेगा ही नहीं मुझे, जब क्लोजनेस एकदम ऐसे मर्ज होने लगेंगे, तो then I can say that or not, that is almost becoming a tangent approximation.
हाँ.
For example, the change between x1 and x2, the delta x is say 0.00000001, 10 to the power minus 14 है. It is not 0, but it is very close to 0. Yes or no?
Yes.
All of you understood this or not? Very close to 0 and
Yes.
0.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, very close to 0 जब होता है, very close to 0 जब होता है, then we write it like this. It is tending towards 0 and we are limiting it from becoming 0. Why? If the denominator becomes 0, then this thing becomes not defined. And this not defined thing does not have any use for us. Understood?
Yes, sir.
This not defined thing is not of any use to us. I hope all of you understood this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's it. So यहां तक इसको लिखो पहले. All of you write it quickly. Okay. Read it at least 5 times before joining tomorrow's session. Before you join tomorrow's session, read it, practice it, draw it at least 5 times in your notebook. And be very familiar with these words. Tending towards, limiting to, secant, tangent, slope. ये सब कल पता होना चाहिए तुमको. Okay?